on digital signal processing. Now, what is digital signal processing? Is it a mathematical class? Because most of the time we deal with mathematical equations and we involve in solving many of the mathematical equations in a signal processing class that you have seen. Now, what is digital signal processing from a signal processing? So, processing of the signals by digital means, either in terms of software or hardware, is DSP. The systems which process the digital or discrete time signals to achieve the required resultants is DSP. Now, to process these digital signals, we need the programmable devices. Then what are these programmable devices? The programmable devices may be the large computers, small desktops, or they may be programmable processors. Some special processors are designed called as DSP processors, which handle these numericals for special purposes. So the digital signals, they are processed by means of processors. So a study of processing the digital signals is involved in study of DSP. A digital signal processing is nothing but processing the signals digitally, that is digitized signals. Now, how do you get these digital signals? How to digitize this? Most of the signals which we come across in our day-to-day life, they are analog in nature. Now we need to convert them into digital. Now, what is digital? Digital is not always a binary in terms of zeros and ones. For example, you see here a sinusoidal waveform. When the sinusoidal waveform, which is continuous in nature, is discretized in terms of levels of amplitudes of the signal, this conversion of this analog signal into discrete levels of the signals is also called as a discrete signal. When you discretize the signal, then after a certain interval of time, you get a discrete level of amplitudes of the signals. So you see here, one of the sinusoidal signal is discretized, and you observe that after every interval of say t seconds, the amplitude of the signal will be observed, and that amplitude will be stored, or it is plotted. So this plot is discrete in nature and is not continuous in nature. You observe here. So this is some say t seconds. This is say t seconds. This is 2t, 3t, 4t, 5t. So after every small interval of delta t, the analog signal's amplitude is stored, and accordingly it will be processed, and that analog signal is converted into digital signal. This is possible by sampling the continuous time signal and converting it into digital signals. Now there are the devices that exist which converts the analog signal into digital signal. That devices are called as analog to digital converters. You might have studied in other subjects in your previous semesters how to implement these analog to digital converters, or how to design these analog to digital converters. There is also a device exists that converts back the digital signals to analog, that are called as digital to analog converter. Now, why we need to go digital? Why we use digital in place of using analog signals, though our signals are exist in analog nature? The digital signal processing techniques, they are so powerful that sometimes in some situations it is extremely difficult, or I can say that it is impossible for the analog processing to achieve a similar performance what we get by processing the signals digitally. For example, the speech processing, where the transmission of the speech signal takes over the channel, for example in a telephone channels. So processing is by means of digitize is more efficient compared to the analog. So when you process it analogically, there are many drawbacks are involved in that you may come across when you study the communication systems. In that you may come across what kind of drawbacks are there if you process or transmit the signals analogously. So most of the channels, they are converted and they have become digitized. In case of oil exploration, in case of detection of nuclear explosion, where it is not possible for a human person to visit personally at that time, these digital systems, you can make it to go there and perform the task in place of these human beings. So at certain situations it is not possible to process the signals by means of analog processing systems. In that cases you need to process the signals by means of processors or the digital systems. Most of the analog signal processing is achieved by using analog components such as resistors, capacitors and inductors, which you have studied in your previous semester subjects. The main drawback of this analog system by implementing it by such discrete components is the involvement of inherent tolerance which is associated with these components due to temperature or voltage change and the mechanical vibrations. These changes may dramatically affect the effectiveness of this analog circuitry. This digital data, it is possible that we can easily store it in using magnetic media, whereas it is extremely difficult to store the analog data by using any kind of device. The digital systems allows flexibility where if it is required to reconfigure the operation. In case of analog systems, we need to change the components at all or the circuitry itself if we want to reconfigure the operation. In some of the cases, it is possible to design the cost-effective digitized system. With DSP, I can say that it is easy to change the applications, it is easy to correct the applications, and it is easy to update the application. That is why we need to go digitized. Additionally, DSP reduces the noise susceptibility, reduces the count of chips that is to be required to establish the circuitry. The development time is reduced. As I said, the cost is effective. Power consumption will also be less in case of DSP systems. Use of DSP processors, I suggest it in the cases where you need to save the cost, you need a smaller size system to be implemented, if we need to consume the lower power, and if you want to process the high frequency signals in real time, then DSP processors are more effective. The general purpose processors can be used when large memory is required to store and the advanced operating system is required to be used. In both the cases, we whether you use there's in case of DSP, the signal digitally processed by the processors. So as I said, the DSP processors, they are specifically designed to perform some numerical operations. In the market, DSP processors exist, and even the general purpose other processors are also exist. Then on what basis you make the choice? So these are the basis on which you can make the choice of whether you go for DSP processor or you go for general purpose processor. Now the major applications of these digital signal processing systems is in detecting the frequencies of a pair of sinusoidal signals called as tones when it is implemented or employed in telephone signals. The processing of images is very efficient if we implement using DSP processors, for example, to achieve the filtering, thresholding, compression of the images. Sometimes the images which we take it from the satellite, to enhance the properties of the images, it is easier to implement it using the DSP processors. A determination of the spectral components of continuous time signals is difficult. So then in that case, the spectral analysis of the random signals using both these non-parametric and parametric methods can be achieved if we go digitized, so that you will study it in digital communication, how to achieve that. And most of the time we observe that nowadays in medical field or biomedical field, the signal processing techniques are used if we want even to monitor the blood pressure, or if you want to check the sugar level of the patient, or even during the surgeries also nowadays the DSP processors are used. Speech processing applications, the DSP processors are majorly used. In mobile communication, they are almost digitized, and you are all using the mobile cell phones which are digitized. This is a major application of DSP processors. The application of digital filtering methods is used while processing the musical sounds, and the variety of digital filter structures are useful for generating certain audio effects in these musical signals, such as, for examples, if we want to create the artificial reverberation, flanging or phasing effects, if you want to filter or equalize these musical sounds, then it is easy to use digital filtering techniques. This is what the introduction of the digital signal processing I have given you. In this entire subject, we are going to go through the certain signal processing techniques that are used or that is to be implemented using the processors. Mathematically, we will first study these all operations, and then we try to implement it by means of software. So before going ahead with these digital processing techniques, we need to review some of the concepts which we have already studied in signals and system. So we must be familiar with the standard form of differential equations which are used to represent the continuous time signal. What is the standard form of differential equation? Just recall, if you are able to recall. So this is a standard form of a differential equation. Sorry, I have said that differential. Oh, this is a difference equation. I have rightly. This is not a differential equation. I think I have both places. I have written the difference equation. Here this should be differential equation. In place of y of n minus I should have written here di dt by diy by dt raised to I, and this bi into di of dx divided by dt raised to I. So you can just revise, go back and observe the standard form of differential equation. This difference term should be changed with the ith order of differential term or the derivative term. This is the standard form of difference equation which we are going to come across throughout this subject. The summation I from 0 to n ai y of n minus I, these are related to the output terms, which is equal to summation I from 0 to m bi x of n minus I. This is a standard form of representing the discrete time signals or the discrete time systems. Now, what is the impulse response, or the impulse response which is also called as a sample response, which you have studied? How you denote the impulse response? H of n is the impulse response in a time domain and h of z is impulse response in z domain. This is a denotion of the impulse response. Whereas for any system, when you give the input x of t, you obtain the output y of t. When you replace the input with the impulse input, what is the resultant output you obtain? That resultant output is called as the impulse response of that particular system. So that is the response of the system due to the impulse input is called as the impulse response of the system. So Hn, the impulse response in the time domain, and Hz, the impulse response in the z domain. What is the convolution sum equation that you have gone through? The convolution sum expression for infinite duration, we have derived that y of n is equal to summation k from minus infinity to plus infinity x of k into h of n minus k. The standard form of h of z. What is the standard form of h of z? H of z, which is the ratio of yz by xz, you can obtain it from the standard form of difference equation by taking the z transform the difference equation and then taking the ratio of yz by xz, you obtain hz, which is equal to summation I from 0 to m bi z raised to minus I divided by summation I from 0 to n ai z raised to minus I. I also expect that you go through the Z transform properties and inverse Z transform formulas. Also go through the Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transform pairs, which are essential and the prerequisite for this particular subject when we go ahead with. You are already familiar with the Fourier series Fourier representation of four kind of signals, that are periodic continuous time, periodic discrete time, non-periodic continuous time, non-periodic discrete time. I also expect that you go through that Fourier representations also, so that it will be easier for you to understand the concepts of the digital signal processing systems. I hope that whatever I have just presented you, if you have understood that. If you have any queries, you can ask the queries.